friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley and I have been a Cricut crafter since 2012. That being said, there is one thing, it's like my Achilles heel of all Cricut crafts. Every single time I do a Cricut craft, I have to make things look real. It is a problem, I feel like it's a serious problem. I just can't stop at things like everyone else is making them. I have to make things look in real life. So here's the deal. In my cardstock warehouse, I have this digital download. This digital download right here is of a beer stein. Looks great, right? The cool thing about this file is that it is a working pocket that houses a gift card. Now, that's great. That's great and all. But to me, this beer stein, and let me just know, everyone that makes a beer stein when you're using cardstock, they all assemble it the same with a little bit of silver to mimic the glass, and then you could probably use goldenrod yellow or mirror gold in order to make the beer look. Does this look good? Yeah, it does. However, does it look real? In my opinion, no. And again, we're going to go back to my biggest issue that I have as being a Cricut crafter is I can't stop at things not looking real. This is my problem. It's my red flag. If I have only one red flag, it's going to be that I need things to look realistic. So I have been tinkering around. I have been trying to figure out what in the world I can do, use, or make that would make this product look real, because that's what I want. I want this to look real. So I've come up with something and I need you to give me your honest opinion here. Do you like this, which is how everyone else is doing it and how, like it's not bad. Do you like this, or do you like this right here? I customized my own digital download found in my cardstock warehouse and made something that looks realistic. This looks like a frosted beer glass, like straight up out of the freezer. You pour some beer in, you got some foam. I got a frosted beer glass here. Does this not look like real beer? Now, if you put the two side by side, which one's your favorite? This one right here or this one right here? Mind you, both of these still have that working pocket. So both of them can still have a gift card, but like the finished results, which one's your favorite? And I sure hope it's going to be this one right here, because today I'm going to show you how we are going to make this, because there is so many different more applications that you could use instead of just doing this particular cutout that would make your projects from your Cricut turn out in real life, because that's what I love to do. I love to make in real life things out of cardstock, out of vinyl, everything. I'm going to show you how to make this right here. I am going to show you how to assemble this as well, just in case you wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. But I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you my techniques, and I'm going to show you how I figured this out, because there was a lot of test runs. Now, if you can't tell through the screen, I am really excited to show you this, because the light bulb went on. I was laying in bed one night and I'm like, I'm gonna try it this way. And I did, and it worked, and I came running back here to show you how to make this. So let's go to the computers. We're gonna do a little bit of design work. Well, not really. We're just gonna download the file straight from my cardstock warehouse. And then we're gonna cut and assemble this. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna blow your mind, because you probably have the stuff that I'm going to use for this inside your craft room. Let's go. All right, friends, the very first thing you want to do is head over to my cardstock warehouse. This is where we are going to not only purchase our cardstock, but also grab that digital download that I created for us to use today. You can shop all the cardstock right here, or even in this drop-down box, but then also going over into Craft Essentials, you want to head over to digital downloads. That's where you're going to find the digital download that we're going to use today. You're going to want to download that file and then open up a blank window in Cricut Design Space. You're going to come over here into New Project. Once you have a new blank window, then what you want to do is come over here and press Upload. Then you want to press Upload Image. When you download my digital download, you will notice that there are two files within that one digital download. The reason for that is remember that shiny silver one that I showed you earlier? That is this file right here. However, if you wanted to create the exact one that I'm using today and going to be making, you're going to want to click this digital download right here, drag and drop it into Cricut Design Space. Then all you want to do is press Continue. You can rename this if you wanted, and then you would just press upload. Now for this project, you actually don't have to do any editing, and you also don't even have to resize this because it's sized perfectly to fit a gift card. But just to show you what different layers we're going to be using, I'm going to right click this and press ungroup. Now these two light blue pieces, I'm actually going to cut out with vellum today. These pieces right here are going to be cut out in my mirror gold cardstock. These ones right here are going to be cut out in my glitter white cardstock. And this piece right here is just going to be some plain white cardstock. There isn't a whole lot of colors today, but the end results of this is going to look phenomenal. And like I said, this file is sized perfectly to fit a gift card. So there is zero resizing that you actually need to do. Now what you want to do is just go and press make. You can save this if you want, or you could just press don't save. Now what we need to do is go and pull our cardstock and head over to the Cricut so we can cut this out. Okay, so over at your Cricut, you should have all your cardstock pulled. Now what you want to do is press continue on your computer, and then you want to load in your first piece of material. For me, it's going to be the plain white cardstock. So I'm just going to load that into my Cricut mat and load this into my Cricut. For plain cardstock, I like to cut on the cardstock mode, and then I like to press fast mode on my computer and then press that blinking C button. So for my next Cricut mat, what I'm going to do is I am going to load in the next materials that I need to cut on my Cricut, which is going to be the mirror gold for me. If you're using my mirror cardstock or even my glitter cardstock, you always want to cut on the cardstock plus mode and then press the blinking C button. Okay, so now to get that frosted beer glass, what you're gonna need to do is get some vellum paper. I actually had some of this laying around in my craft room. I use it for wedding invitations, but also luminaries. I'm so glad I had this on hand because holy cow, it did exactly what I needed it to do. So you wanna pick some of this up and you just wanna use one sheet. We only need to use one sheet for today. So we're just gonna eject that, put this in the mat in our machine. Now vellum paper is very thin, so what I suggest using is the iron on plus mode and then just press the blinking C button. I find that the iron on plus mode for the Cricut is the best cut setting for vellum. And you can see that it cut perfect without any issues, and then I can also weed this out perfectly. So I do love using the iron on plus mode with vellum. Okay, now that we're done cutting, you can just press done on your Cricut and slide your Cricut out of the way. We don't need this anymore. Now I did go ahead and cut out the other file that was in that digital download just so I can show you how to assemble it. But all you're gonna need for the one that does not have the vellum is you're just gonna need precision craft glue. And I like to start with this one right here that has the smaller little cutouts. And we're just going to make this just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. And we're gonna put this down here. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to flip this over. And I only wanna put glue on the outside edge, on the sides, and on the bottom. You don't wanna put glue at the very top because this is what your pocket is going to be. So you can see where I have no glue at the very top, but only on the sides and the bottom. That's perfect. Then what you want to do is taking your plain white piece, you're going to layer that onto the back of this, making sure that you don't have any glue at the very top right there, because that is going to be your pocket. So you want to make sure that there's nothing at the very top. Okay, just like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this piece right here and I am just going to put some glue just like this. These are super easy to assemble. You don't need a whole lot of glue. It ends up looking really good. Okay, then I am just going to layer this over the top, turning this around. We just want to center this onto your cutout, just like that. Then you want to take this one right here that doesn't have any cutouts. I just used white glitter cardstock for all of the cutouts, but you could totally do like a plain cardstock or an ivory cardstock with the backer. Anything would work. Now we're going to take the white piece of glitter cardstock that has little cutouts in it. So this is so cute. Definitely not my favorite, but it's a really good option if you don't want to go super extra like me. You totally could do it just like this, and the end result ends up looking still really good. Just to show you that it does work, I'm just going to use my Starbucks gift card, and I'm going to put this inside the corners. And truly what you want to do is wait for your glue to dry, because otherwise the pocket may come loose. But you know, I don't have a lot of patience, so I'm going to just do it anyways. But you just want to slip this into your pocket just like that. So then you can gift it just like this, and then the recipient would just be able to slide this out and you'll have a working pouch. So I love this look. If you did not want to be extra like me, this is definitely a really good option. Okay, now let's get into assembling the vellum one to give us that frosted glass, because this right here I think is worth all the process. I think that this makes it look identical to a real glass, which to me is really important. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you have one that's in reverse and then another one. I'm going to take the one that's in reverse and flip it over. I'm going to set this down on my table. And what I'm going to do is, you're going to have 3 different pieces of mirror cardstock. I'm going to start with the one that has no cutouts in it, and I am just going to put a little bit of glue. You don't need a whole lot of glue, but just a little bit. And I'm going to go around the entire edge, and now I'm going to put this at the bottom, towards the bottom. The way that I designed this file is that there is going to be like a little lip around the entire thing. The reason for that is, if you look at like a real beer glass, and when it's full of beer, you're going to have this like white, thicker white edge on your glass that doesn't have beer in it. So that was really important to me when I designed this file, was to make it look as realistic as possible. Okay, so doing the same thing, I'm just going to add some glue onto the second cutout, the one that has the smaller ones, and I'm going to lay this over the top of that back layer. Now, you definitely did not need to cut out all these layers if you didn't want to. You could just skip and only cut 2 of these. However, I'm extra and I like the layers. I like building the layers, making sure that it looks as real as possible. So I'm going to do my last marigold, and we're going to layer that on top of the other 2 marigold things. Now, this right here, we just have like a lot of layers, which I love. There's a lot of layers in there. It looks really good, and although it doesn't look like it's frosted yet, it's going to look frosted here in a second, and it's going to be all worth it. Before we do the next step, what I want to do, because the drying of the frostedness takes a bit of time, so I want to build the pocket, I am going to take this and I'm going to flip this over, and doing the same type of concept that we did for the back of this one, I am only going to put glue, so you can see the back of the marigold right here. I'm only going to put glue on the outer perimeter of the white on the sides and at the bottom. Do not go at the very top. Don't put a line of glue at the very top of here, because then that'll close your pouch in. So I am going to take my plain white piece of cardstock. I'm going to line the edges up with the white of my mirror cardstock, and I'm just going to press this down, sealing the pouch up and letting the glue dry. Remember, do not put glue at the top edge of your pouch, because then you won't have a pocket. Okay, we're going to let this dry. Now we're going to flip this over, because now we're going to add the second layer of the vellum, and this part is going to take the longest to dry. Now I want to press pause here before I show you the method that I ended up loving and using. Whenever I work on any type of projects for tutorials like this, I test them out, like thoroughly test them out, to make sure that what the end results are is going to be something that I'm happy with. So these are all of my test runs. I just want you to know I did a lot of test runs. Okay, so this was my very first try, and this right here I used clear transparencies, and also I tried it with a laminating pouch, like a hot laminating pouch, and this is what the look looks like. And you can see that there is no frosting to it. It's just very clear and not in real life. So then I tried some milky white window stain paint, and the results are okay. You can see that there is some milkiness. However, I did not like the way that this dried. You can see that there's like rippling and dimpling. I did not like this. The end result, I mean, it works. It's a functioning pocket. I just didn't like the finished product of this. So then I used some of my precision craft glue with the vellum, and this is what it looks like dried. So if you were to put vellum glue on the back of vellum and then glue this on top of the mirror cardstock, you're going to get a result that looks like this. So just know that I didn't like the look of that. This right here is tape, but craft tape, double-sided craft tape. This is what the end result looks like. It's not bad in the spots where I put the tape, but obviously if you don't have tape throughout the entire thing, this is what it's going to look like, which I didn't really care for that result. Okay, so going on to the results that I ended up getting. What we're gonna use today is this right here, Maker's Magic. I'm gonna be using the matte version. I did not try the gloss version, so if you do have the gloss version, maybe you can try that, but I tried it specifically with the matte, and this is the results that I got. So you want to obviously pick up some Maker's Magic. I'm using the matte. I haven't tried it with the gloss, but we're gonna use this today, and this is what our final results will end up looking like when we are done. Now this right here is my goldenrod yellow plain cardstock found in my cardstock warehouse. The reason why I did not use this is because this right here it's not amber enough or shiny enough to like remind me of beer, like what real beer looks like in a stein. So I decided to go over into the mirror, and this is what the test was for the mirror cardstock. So I did like the end result on the mirror cardstock the best using this glue. So just know, whenever I work on projects for tutorials like this, I definitely try really hard to master a technique to show you something new and something different, but also the best of the best, because I don't want to do a video and then there be a better option. So I think I covered a lot of the options, and I'm thinking this right here is going to be the best result. Now I do have to tell you, when we do this, what we need to do is we're going to grab a paintbrush, and generally when I tell you to use Maker's Magic, I tell you to do a light coat of Maker's Magic. However, for this one, you're not going to want a light coat. You're going to want to kind of heavy place it on there, because you want to make sure that we don't have any type of brush strokes in our, or missing glue in our cutout. So all I'm going to do is open this up, taking a brush, and I'm just going to get this wet, and I am going to douse my cutout, my entire cutout. I'm going to go pretty heavy on the hand with my brush, making sure that I don't miss any cutout or any portion of my cutout of the beer. Kind of heavy-handed. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm not really focusing too much on the side edges of my beer stein because that doesn't really matter. But then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go over here to the handle, and I'm going to use heavy hand, and I'm going to go all the way around all the edges of my vellum. It's okay if it starts to ripple, because we're going to flatten this out here in a second. We just want to make sure that we have enough glue on our entire project, because it will end up drying really weird if we don't go heavy-handed. Okay, you kind of want to work fast because this stuff does dry pretty quickly. You're going to want to take your second piece of vellum, and you're going to layer this on top of your other vellum sheet, and you see how you can see it like coming together. This is perfect. Then if you can use your fingers, I'm going to use this like little spatula thing. Again, we're going to work really quick, and you want to press this down, creating a nice good seal. Okay, the other reason why I like using this is because we're going to be able to move the air bubbles out of the way. I don't really care too much about the air bubbles inside the cutouts right here, because I feel like that's how it's going to look in real life. But just to keep the ripples from, you don't want your paper to have ripples in it for sure, because that will end up like changing the look of your end result. All right, when you have your frosted glued on, you want to make sure and put your paintbrush in water, because you will end up ruining your paintbrush. So you want to put that in water. But then all you need to do is just insert this, glue this on top of your piece of vellum that you have. And then you're gonna wanna let this dry, but when you're done, this pocket is going to work perfectly and you're not gonna have any issues. Okie dokie, my crafty friends, what do you think? What's your favorite way? Do you think that I am going above and beyond and I'm way too extra by doing it this way? And should I just stick to this one? What is your favorite? Also, you know, I am not the crafting genius. I don't know it all. Is there something else that I missed? Is there another material I should try? Is there something else that I should be doing? Another glue? You tell me in the comments of this video. The greatest thing about being a crafter and also having some type of social media presence is that I don't know everything, and maybe there is somebody else that has a better suggestion for us that we can try instead of the stuff that I've already tried. Because my sole goal for all projects from the Cricut is to make things look as best as possible, but as real as possible. And just like at the beginning of this video, this looks good, but it doesn't look real. And I think this is the closest to real as I've ever seen it. So you let me know if you have any other suggestions for me and which one is your favorite. Also, am I just cuckoo and I should just not go the extra mile? You let me know. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.